Hi, this is Bruce Buffer, your voice of the Octagon, and you're listening to MMA Mental.
This post-fight interview is brought to you by MMA Mental, MMA Worldwide, and YourMMA.tv. It is sponsored by Almighty Fightwear. For more post-fight interviews from the biggest promotions, please subscribe to the MMA Mental YouTube channel. Also, like MMAmental.com, MMA Worldwide, Your MMA, and Almighty Fightwear on Facebook. And on Twitter, please follow at MMA Mental, at Your MMA, and at Almighty MMA. I'm now joined by Daniel Weichel. Daniel's coming off of a big victory at Bellator 114 against Matt Bessette, which advanced him to the featherweight final, also taking his pro record to 33-8 and his Bellator record to 2-0. Daniel, thank you very much for joining me.
Yeah, nice to be here. Thank you.
And congratulations, 2-0, and you're now one fight away from the featherweight title.
Yes, yeah. Thanks.
How does...
Yeah.
Go on, carry on.
Yeah, it was a great time in fighting twice in only 5 weeks. It was a good thing, man.
How does it feel then to be one fight away from fighting for one of the biggest titles in mixed martial arts?
Yeah, it's great. It's just great. Also, fighting for Bellator is a really great thing for me. And, it's going pretty fast. The first fight was 28th of February, 4 weeks later, 28th of March, and now only 5 weeks later I'm fighting again. It's really going fast. It's hard to realize, but I'm really happy that I'm now in the finals, and I put everything into it, yeah.
It's great to see, isn't it, the European fighters being given a chance on such a big stage.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great stage. Also fighting on Spike TV, it's amazing. Yeah, we have around 1 million spectators there. It's great. It's just, yeah.
Now, talking a little bit about the fight then, you were facing Matt Bessette. What did you know about Matt Bessette going into the semi-final matchup?
I watched the last fight of him with Diego Nunes very closely right after my fight. He tried to put the pressure, and I saw he had a good ground game, and also his countering, standing up was good. Because of that, he knocked him down the second round, and I knew I have to be aware of trading punches with him. But after all, I was pretty confident going in the fight, standing and wrestling. Also, ground I was very confident. But I have to say, the high altitude in Salt Lake City, I really underestimated that. I felt that the second round really bad. I felt like a little bit sore in the muscles, and I slowed down the second round. But I could come back the third round way stronger. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to pick up on that. So, for me watching the fight then, it appeared that, you won the first round. You used your wrestling, some good ground and pound. Round two, he seemed to come back into it. So, going into the third round, did you feel in your head that it was one round each and whoever won this third round was going to win the fight?
Yeah. In the break to the third round, I was a little bit upset of myself for the second round. So and my coach always also told me, man, you have to push the third round. You have to put on some pressure, man. And I felt like I didn't show the second round what I really got. So I had to push a little bit more the third round, and I really want to show more. Yeah. And I could show a little bit more the third round, but altogether, I think I can show way more than I showed in that whole fight.
So was it fair to say then, going into the third round, the approach for you from your corner to you to go out there was to push the pace more and kind of get back to what you were doing in the first round?
Yeah, push the pace, get the takedown, score more points. Yeah.
When it went to the judges' scorecard, how confident were you that you'd won the fight?
I was pretty confident. I know I won the first round. The second round was pretty even, and the third round was mine. So I was pretty confident. Yes.
Okay, so you've like I said, you're now 2-0 in Bellator, and you've obviously advanced to the featherweight final, and you're going to be facing Des Green again. He had an impressive victory on the night as well. So what are your thoughts on Des Green as an opponent going into this final?
Yeah, I had the chance now the last week to watch Des Green a little bit more. So I know that his strengths is definitely the wrestling. He's pretty dynamic and technical in his wrestling game and stand-up game. So we're working on that to get the game plan together and, getting the victory.
Have you looked much at the rest of the featherweight division? I mean, at the top end, of course, the division you've got Pat Curran and Daniel Strauss have just faced, with Pat Curran winning late on, and then he's going to be facing Patricky Friere. Have you looked much at the rest of the picture in that division?
At the moment, not really. I'm watching it, by the side. But at the moment, my main focus is on Des Green. Like I said, also in the interviews before in the tournament, the next fight is always that opponent I have in the mind most, because I try always to focus 100% on my next fight and nothing else. Yeah.
How have you found it? How have you found adapting then from fighting mainly on the European scene? Because obviously we've seen you fight in BAMA, we've seen you fight in M1, to then moving across and fighting on the American scene. Has there been much of a difference for you?
It was definitely a big thing in my career. What happened? Also, I had after my last fight in M1, I had a 1 year layoff because the contract was finished, and my management kept working on the Bellator contract and stuff. So I had a 1 year layoff, and Bellator was definitely a big thing for me that happened, and I'm very, very happy with that.
How frustrating was it for you then? Because you are obviously a very active fighter and you're a very experienced fighter as well. How frustrating was it for you having that year layoff?
It was kind of okay, because I took a lot of time working on all stuff like standing and wrestling and ground on the ground. We made some changements in our team, like we bring some new coaches in, like Mohamed Awali, our new striking coach for now 1.5 years. He's really, really great working with him. Like, he really puts the stand-up game and the wrestling all together and helps me a lot to become a more complete fighter. So, and beside that, also wrestling and grounds always a part I work on to improve. So this year was basically improving the whole MMA game for me, and I think I could show in my last 2 fights that it worked out.
So even though it might not have been ideal to have the layoff, you feel it's worked out well for you then moving forward and obviously advancing your career onto a bigger stage?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely I want to fight, after the 6 months, I really had the desire to get back in the cage. But after all, it was a good thing, that 1 year layoff,
Well, I really appreciate you giving me your time today. Congratulations on making it all the way to the featherweight final.
Thank you so much.
And before we let you go, I just want to give you a chance to do some shout-outs. If you'd like to let the listeners know about your Facebook and your Twitter, and you want to shout out any sponsors, any friends, family, training partners, whoever you want to shout out at all.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter, it's Daniel Weichel, and on Facebook it's MMA Fighter Daniel Weichel. You can follow my whole preparation, my fighting, and also I want to thank all the fans out there. You're amazing, supporting me, and also a big appreciate all my sponsors like MMA Spirit, Olymp, Top 10. It's really great to have you to make me live my dream. Thank you a lot.
Well, I can't wait to see you step in. It's going to be a hell of a final, and obviously, like I said, congratulations to making such a big impact in your first 2 Bellator fights.
Thanks, appreciate that.